Good afternoon, YouTube. This is the lower portion of the Grizzly Flat Trail. Basically, I'm turning around here, but I wanted to check out some possible routes down this really steep hill here. The main branch of Stevens Creek goes off that way, but this is what's called Branch D. So according to the USGS hillshade map, the old road continues down here for a ways on this side of the creek, and then it jumps over to the other side and goes way the heck up here. Late last fall, I did the short hike where I came up where the old road forked off of the Grizzly Flat Trail, and I went just a little ways, and that's, according to the map, is right down there. I thought I'd come up here today and sort of scope out this hill and see if there's a way to get down here. There's a clear area here with no fallen trees or anything. This gully that is right in here is just packed with brush. Really no way to get down, although there might be a way to side hill down from the other side of that gully and go back roughly to where I stopped last fall. Or if I go down here, it's pretty much straight down, but that is like a really steep hill, because that's about as steep as the hill at the wrecked cars. That was just barely doable, but you needed to have a route. You couldn't just go straight down. You kind of had to pick your way down. And luckily there was a faint user trail, and I don't see anything like that up here. Yeah, there the camera is level, and you can see the slope over there. That is steep. Let's get the camera level. Let's see there. That's a pretty steep slope going down there. So after looking at that steep slope off of the Grizzly Flat Trail, I stopped on the way out and took this photo looking down the slope to the wrecked cars. So the Stevens Creek is down here. Now I've been up and down this slope, and it looks about as steep as the slope off of Grizzly Flat. It's not quite as high. It's maybe only half the height. And this photo was taken looking down the hill, so of course it looks flat, but this is a pretty darn steep hill. And the one thing that's different here is you can see there's undulations in the slope. There's little ledges here all the way up, and there's actually like a user trail follow that kind of work their way up these undulations. I think this is the upper part here where you can kind of see footprints through the leaves. That might have been my footprints from a month or two ago. The path kind of follows up here, swinging around these various trees and following these flat spots. This is towards the bottom of the slope here. You can actually see almost a defined trail here. At the bottom, the slope isn't quite as steep. It's maybe 30 degrees, something like that, and it gets steeper the higher up you go. But there's a definite path to get up there versus from the Grizzly Flat Trail looking down. It just looks smooth all the way down. So here's the USGS National Map viewer, and this is the area I came up the Grizzly Flat Trail here. And then I checked out the slope down here and then came around this little gully, and then this is where I shot the video from, looking down here. So yeah, here's the hillshade view, and I can zoom in a little farther with that view here. I checked out this area. It was pretty featureless, and then I came up here, and this also was pretty featureless. Although it looks like there's a little bit of texture down there, I just didn't see anything looking down there. I might need to look again. This gully here is full of brush. So I was thinking the brow of this ridge might be a possible way down, because you're going a longer distance following this arc, so you're covering more horizontal distance for the same vertical drop, which would make the gradient a little easier. And then I was looking here, you can kind of see some fine texture in there. And then watch what happens. I'll turn on the multi-direction here. And if you zoom in, that's not just texture. That looks like an old road cut
going down here. You can see there's switchbacks over here. There's some definite switchbacks down here at the bottom. So that might be an old road or an old trail to come out of here. You can see here's the old 1897 road coming up here. There's a flat area there. Looks like they flattened off a portion of the side of the canyon there, and the road comes up here. It's on this side of the creek at that point, and then it looks like it actually crosses over the creek and goes up the other side here. You can see there's clearly an old road there. So yeah, I got to check this out. I'm going to have to go up to this next corner and just scope this out, see if there's anything there. It certainly looks like it. It's just whether it's completely overgrown and impassable, that's still a pretty good possibility. Yeah, the other thing you can really see on these hillshade maps is landslide scars. So you can really see how this whole area here, this was a big slide. And in fact, this Grizzly Flat Road seems to have been built along the top of the slide scar. I don't think the slide happened after the road was put in. I think the slide predates the road. This here is also an active slide. This slid out in 2017 when we had the really wet winter. This one looks like it's quite a bit older. That's, I think, one reason why this slope is so steep and so smooth, because it's basically just landslide debris at whatever angle of repose of this soil. So this soil is basically as steep as it can be before it slides. And that's why it's really hard to try to hike down here. But hopefully I can get down this way. We'll try to check that out here at one of these coming bike rides. See what I can see down here. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for watching.